Well, here to help us sort through all this pain and bad news that we're reporting is psychotherapist John Tsilimparis. He's the author of this new book. It's called The Magic and the Tragic. Thank you so much for being here. I mean, we're kicking off this Monday with not one, but two deadly mass shootings. You've written this book newly, it just came out, The Magic and the Tragic, to help us cope with things like depression, anxiety, and bad news like this. What is the gist of this? What does that mean, the magic and the tragic?
So it's a book about helping people deal with uncertain times in a different way. It's more about building emotional resilience and converting adversity into thriving. Typically, people experience grief and anxiety and they do everything in their power to push it away. But this is a book that helps you bring it closer to you so that you're not so afraid of it and that you don't become victim of all the triggers.
You know, I've read it, and it's really about like finding the dignity, to expand on what you just said, the dignity in suffering, which is an interesting phrase in itself. And you talk about coping skills, which we all need. This day and age especially. We have a few to run through to help our viewers tonight. Number one, you say, cut yourself some slack. Let's run through these actually now that they're on the screen. Cut yourself some slack. Yeah. We're going to do one at a time, forgive me. So what does that mean, cut yourself some slack?
So it means that every day you try to do an intention to stop and take stock, cut yourself some slack, and remember that it's not unusual. There's nothing wrong with feeling anxious and overwhelmed with all the things that are going on in the world. And remember, given the state of affairs in the world and even in this country, people are dealing with a different kind of stress right now, a different kind of uncertainty. So that's one of them. The second one would be because loneliness and isolation has been such an issue for such a long time, since the beginning of the pandemic, I say to people, try to create and find and seek out more in-person, live human connections as opposed to on the internet.
Okay, so that is what we're looking at now. Seek out more live and in-person human connections. Plan real-time social activities with friends and family that you do physically together.
Exactly. Those types of internet connections are not always going to do the trick for you.
In other words, you can't rely on your social media to make you feel better.
No. We know that if you are with other people, you spend time with people, you have quality time with people, you will elevate your chances to ward off anxiety and depression.
Okay, so there's something to be said with face-to-face, not just on Zoom even.
No, not even. And so speaking of being online, the other one is try to limit your screen time. Research shows that excessive screen time sometimes depletes you of energy, which leaves you vulnerable to being depressed. And also, it decreases your ability to concentrate and to focus on things that are important to you and your responsibilities. So that's a hard sell, especially for young people, to curb your screen time.
Okay, so let's recap. Cut yourself some slack. You're not alone. Remember that. That's very important. Number two, connect with people face to face, not just on a text, not just through FaceTime, but physically one-on-one.
Yes.
This is so much better to talk to you in person than, for instance, on Zoom.
It is.
And then the third one is to limit your screen time.
That's right.
Because we know that you can just go down and, I mean, there's a whole term of brain rot, right?
Yes, that's right. And so remember, self-care to me is really important. So I always say it's always easier to prevent a mental health crisis than it is to repair one. So preventative measures are important here.
Okay, so his book is The Magic and the Tragic, Rewriting the Script on Grief and Discovering Happiness in Our Darkest Days. It is out now. Pick it up. Very helpful. We appreciate you coming in, especially on on a bad news day today. We need this information.
Thanks, Marla.
All right. Thank you, John.